Creativity's always been in my blood since I was a little curly-haired girl. As far back as I can remember, I've always been coloring and drawing and getting my hands dirty and just being creative at whatever's there. My name is Marianne and I'm the Design Director of Creative Voice. We help translate your message into a visual representation that encompasses your identity, values, and personality. I love helping people, brands, and companies find their creative voice. With clients, I first start with obviously the initial conversation. I love to get to know them and have a better understanding of their brand. Once we have that discussion, we start into the whole design strategy. I discuss color with them. We discuss sometimes layout, because that comes to mind very easily for me. We need to discuss obviously the brand message, the brand visual, and the target market is very important here as well. I always look for the most simple way to put a design together. I find simplicity is key here. I feel that there's an emotional connection and people need to visually see it and experience it. And from there, they make that attachment, the connection with the product that they're purchasing. I find that I get a lot of inspiration from watching people and how they are emotionally connected to that brand. And I find that I take that with me and I use it in future projects, you know, just knowing how a person experiences it. Color is so important. That is your brand's, one of your brand signatures. People recognize you by color. Like if you take McDonald's, the arches are yellow. Like everybody knows that color. Typography is key. It is its own message in itself. It's a written message. And I feel that when you have the right font, the right weighting, the right style, it actually brings that brand to life. It has its own voice, its own personality, and literally it's like its own written voice. Each and every element is taken into consideration when we're designing your website, your landing page, your packaging, logo, even logo on a business card. They're all just as important. They all communicate your message. I was hired by Urban Distilleries to come up with a Canadiana youthful feel to a unique vodka, and the flavor was dill pickle. So after a few discussions with the client, we decided that, you know, finding elements that spoke to Canadiana was one avenue to explore. Obviously the flavoring was one way to explore it. We were looking for a very modern, memorable design. We were looking at a very modern, unique, progressive font that was like really bold and in your face. We were looking for bold colors, what spoke to Canadiana, which obviously is our maple leaf, our heritage for Canada. Once the ideas come back to our office, we have another discussion with the client, and that's when we get the client feedback of what their take is on the concepts that have been delivered. Usually we have a recommendation of what we feel is best suited for the client and their brand, but then a lot of the time the client comes back to us and they know their brand the best. So I find that we listen to what they have to say and we make our recommendations from there. And a lot of times we end up doing 2, 3, sometimes 4 different rounds of concepts, even more. So like I said, so we're looking for simplicity, but has all the information that's needed to communicate that brand to the consumer.